Okay. So in the last class, we have discussed in terms of different SQL queries and particularly select command. Within that select command, different options of select command. Okay. Now, just here, if you recollect our things once again, whatever we have discussed one more time, as majorly I told you within the SQL part, okay, where in the SQL, whoever the person is using the SQL, three things will be there. Either the person who is working on SQL, okay, different types of roles will be there. One person will either they create the databases, they will only create the database and they will only create the tables. They will create the tables, and after creating the tables, they will give the connection. Once they create the tables, they will give the connection to website, either to website or to localhost, to any local host. Now, what is meant by local host? Okay, to any local host or to any server. Something they are going to connect like this. Now, what is meant by local host? Local host means nothing but which is hosted on your particular called as in your system only. So it will be available only in your system. It will not be available in other laptops. For example, let me show you with an example. So here I'm going to show you with a small example of localhost so that you'll understand this one and how this create database and all these things and how this will work in the real life. So this is the localhost address. Here I'm writing something code. Ignore the code. Whatever the code it is, just ignore the code. That is not important for us. Here, whatever we are having, this is the localhost address. Now, what is this localhost address? Means some 127.0.0.1 colon 5000. So once I enter this localhost address in the Google, I mean in the web browser, immediately I'm going to get one web page. Now this kind of web page, are you going to get if you enter the same number? If you copy this one and if you enter, are you going to get miss? No. Even if I don't run backend this Python code also, it will not give. So in the backend, I'm running one Python code and this Python code is giving the local host of this one. Here what happens means we are going to enter the person's experience. What is the experience? For example, the person experience is 2. What is the test score he has got? 10. What is the interview score he has got? 9. Something I have entered and I'm going to click on the predict. Now, once I click on the predict, it is going to give me the some value, estimated salary. Now, how this is working means based on the machine learning. In the machine learning, there is a concept called as regression. And based on that, it is going to work. Here, the point, sir, how it is connected to SQL? See, here, I'm entering here experience. Now, what is the experience number I'm going to enter? 2. One more time, I'm going to show you. Here, I'm entering the experience number 2. Test score as 10. Entry score as 9. After entering this one, instead of here submit the predict button, here you will have the submit button. Instead of predict, submit will be there. Now, what is meant by submit? Instead of predict, submit means you are going to click on the submit. What happens once you click on the submit means in the backend, it will be connected to a table. In that table, it is going to have experience, which is int type, data type, what are the data type, and test score and interview score. The moment you enter here submit, it will be redirected to this position. Means, sir, where it will be used? For example, if you take two examples, one is the example number one. If you open the Naresh IT website, in the Naresh IT website, there is a form. Some form is there. And once you fill the form and you are going to click on the submit. Once you click on the submit, what happens in the backend means that data will be stored. Data will be stored in database. There you are just clicking on the submit button. Once you are filling the form and you are clicking on the submit, and the data will be stored in the database. This is a website. Website was linked to the database. Now coming to the, if you go to the HDFC Bank, in the HDFC Bank, you are doing some kind of transaction. For doing the transaction, they are going to enter the details. Where they are going to enter the details? They are going to enter some details. Or in the HDFC Bank, you are going to fill the one application form or account opening form. Okay, HDFC Bank account opening form. Now assume that account opening form is a physical form, means hard copy. Now you are going to write all the details on the hard copy, means on a paper. Once you have written on the paper, now what happens? Okay, they are going to these people are going to enter the details in the some site. Somewhere they are going to enter. The executive will be there now. Executive, whoever the executive is there, the executive is going to enter the details. Enter details. Once the executive enters the details, what happens? He is going to click on the submit button. For him, this type of options will be there. In front of him, one screen will be there. In the screen, what will be there? Asking the user to enter the details. Side name of the person, age of the person, type of the business of the person, gender of the person, like that details will be there. And he is going to fill the details. Where he is going to fill? In the website? No. For them, separately local host will be there. Server will be there. In the server, some website will be there. Within the server, means it will be working only within the HDFC Bank. If you come outside the HDFC Bank and if you copy that link and if you execute also, it will not work. Is the point is clear? So if you take that link, what are the HDFC executives entering the details, that link, the same HDFC person, if he comes out of the HDFC Bank and he is going to try in his personal laptop also, it will not work. If the bank people wants to work from the home, they can't do. The bank transactions or account opening or these details, only it will work in the server. So once in the server, what we are going to do? So they are going to enter, executive is going to enter the details and they are going to click on the submit button. And once they click on the submit button, finally what happens? It will also finally store into database. So different options are there. So the person might enter the details in the website. The person might be entered in a particular app. For example, you are opening one app. In the app starting, it is asking some kind of registration. You are going to fill the registration form or you are going to create a new account and you are going to click on the submit. What happens? It is going to store in the backend in one database. Name, phone number, email ID, everything will be created one column. And the moment you click on the submit, first detail goes to the first row. In the, for example, in the app, you are entering your details, name, phone number, email ID, something you are entering for creating an account and along with the password. It will ask to create one password, you are creating something like this. 4 options are there, assume. Now, once you click on the submit button, what happens? Here name will be there, that too varchar will be there. So it will come to this position. Next, here phone number will be there. This will come to this position. Here email address will be there. This will come to this position. And once you enter that, create the new password. And once you click on that, it will store this one also here. So who is going to create all these things? Means we are going to create the person will create the database and he is going to create the tables and he is going to integrate. And sir, now I want to see the integration. Means I want to create the database and I want to create the integration. I want to create one website. Means you have to learn the full stack development. If you are full stack developer, then what happens means they are going to explain for you the front end. The front end, what is the front end means website. How to design a website. Front end means front part, whatever front part you are seeing. What back end means backside, whatever is there. Backside means, for example, you are entering the front side, the details, but backside what it is going to do, you don't know. How it is going to give the answers, we don't know. For example, here, you are going to enter the details like 2, 10, 9, and you are going to click on the predict and it is giving one number. For example, I have given 1, 8, 9 or 10 and automatically it is going to give me different number. How it is working? 56,179 is displaying. How? What is the code? How it has identified? How exactly that number only has came? If this number, what is the accuracy for that? All the details we don't know. What is details we know is just we know only one point is called as just enter the details. Enter the details, click on the predict. For end user, we have to give like this, as simple as possible. Means who is going to use finally our product, for them we have to give like this. But the person, okay, actually if you come, the person who is end user is there, for them we have to make simplify. But for the company persons who are working, they have to write enter backend code. Is the point is clear? So now backend means nothing but database or cloud and connecting between them, connections. These connections creating the website front end part by using the what are the UI technologies are there, either HTML or CSS or JavaScript or something, whatever it is related to, they are going to develop that one and database, and they are going to connect all this work of the full stack developer. This is not the work of the data scientist or not the work of the data analyst. If you are want the connection or if you are thinking that I want to work completely on SQL, means you have to learn completely SQL course. That it is different one. Then you will become the SQL developer, pure SQL developer. Okay. If you remember in the demo also I have told clearly the same. If you want to become a Python developer, exclusively Python course is there. If you want to become a SQL developer, exclusively SQL course is there. If you want to become a Power BI developer, Power BI course is there. I want to become everything means just ask in the Naresh IT only what is the time, what is the timeline for Python. They are going to say the Python will take 2.5 months. Ask how much time it will take for the exclusively only for SQL. Ask exclusively for Power BI. Now they'll tell the time, some time. Now combine all these things. You are learning all the subjects now. Combine all these things. Now you only check how much time it will take. Just inquire. Within the Naresh IT only, just you inquire. Here in the Naresh IT itself, to learn the Python completely in depth of advanced concepts of Python, whoops concepts, everything, and related to SQL also, related to that one also, related to Power BI also. Like this, if you want to become the in detail of everything, means automatically the course length will be of 6 to 7 months. Sir, if I learn like that also, is there any use? Means no use. Because either you will become the Python developer, either you will become the SQL developer. What is the use of learning both of them? If what you want to become according to that. For data analyst, whatever is required, that already kept in the syllabus copy. That is sufficient for data analyst. Oops concepts are not required for the data analyst, or some things are not required for the data analyst. Whatever is required for data analyst already have kept. But some students, they might be having some idea. For those students, I'm explaining this one. Okay, point number 1. So some people will do this. Now coming to the work of data analyst or data scientist, exactly what they are going to do. Means already the data will be available. Already data will be available. Once the data is available, they are going to select the data. By using the select command, they are going to select the data. And once they select the data, what are the data they have extracted? They select the data. After selecting the data, they are going to do the data cleaning. Data cleaning can be done in multiple ways. They can choose whichever they feel easy. Data cleaning can be done in the Power BI, data cleaning can be done in SQL, data cleaning can be done in Python. Whichever you feel easy, that one. So data cleaning has to be done. Finally, answer will remain same. Once the data was cleaned, whether you do in the Power BI or whether you do in the this one or that one, finally the table final answer will be the same. Exclusively Power BI developers will learn the data cleaning in SQL. Okay, SQL developers will learn SQL. Who are learning Power BI exclusively, they are going to learn the data cleaning in Power BI. Finally, for them also, if you join in the Power BI classes, assume day one they are going to explain what is structured data, what is unstructured data. In the structured data tabular, in this what are the different types of data are there, continuous, discrete, categorical, time series. And for this type of data we have to do like this type of cleaning we have to do. Same thing they are going to explain. Okay, same kind of data cleaning, but they are going to show everything using the Power BI. We'll discuss everything using the Python or everything with this. If you're joining in the SQL, there also they'll explain again structured data means like this. These are the things will be there. You can do the data cleaning using the SQL like this. So they are going to spend the data cleaning time, data cleaning and data analysis. These two are there now. These two can be done in the three of them. In three of them you can do Python, SQL and Power BI. In three of them you can do. But coming to the last one called as presentation. Presentation is there. This you cannot do in the three of them. You can do only in the Power BI. Okay, either in the Power BI or PPT. PPT. Next option is PPT, not in the Python. In the Python, what are the graphs you are going to get by using the Matplotlib or Seaborn or plots? What are the plots are there? Those plots you have to copy into the PPT only. Directly you can't present the Python code in front of them. Code below answer, again code below answer, code below answer. We can't disclose like that. That is our worker. They don't want our worker. They want what is the observations you have made. If Naresh sir has asked me last 1 year, what is the analysis mean? Should I tell that this is the Python code sir I have written like this means? He will think that I am a student and I am showing a project report. He is not HOD or he is not my class teacher to show them my project report. So I'm going to show my analysis report, not the Python code, not with respect to this one. Students, they'll think that client is like some kind of sir. They'll assume that one and they bring the Python code also. Sir, this is the Python code, sir, output like this, sir. Python code, sir, output, sir. Okay, for sir you show. But after showing to sir and once you confirm everything, finally you have to keep the plots in front of the client. That will be done either using the Power BI or only with respect to this. So here, already the data will be available. One more time I'm explaining the data analyst or any person, what they will do means step number 1. First, they'll understand the business problem. Business problem means what is the exact given business problem understanding means exactly what is about the project about. What is a project? They are going to understand the project. This is step 1. If required, write clearly in the notes. Because in this order only we are going to learn one by one. Earlier also I have told you, one more time I am saying. So first we have to understand what is the project about. Next, step number 2. Collect the data. The data will be in the database or the data will be somewhere. Wherever it is in the Excel or CSV, whatever it is, first collect the data. After collecting the data, load the data. Collect the data. If it is in the Excel file or CSV, then load the data. After loading the data, load the data. Collect the data first, followed by load the data. So already I told you that in the company, they will only give directly the database connection. If they have given the database connection, this one. And next one is within this step 2 only. All this comes under step 2 only, part of the step 2. Okay, understand each and every column name. First understand if it is a database, you have to understand the database schema. And after understanding the database schema, you have to understand the each and every column name. Understand each and every column name. Not only while writing, while executing the project also you have to do in the same way. Don't skip any one of the step also. If you skip one of the step, second step will be difficult to understand. You have to come in the same sequential order as it is. Okay, understand each and every column name. What is a column name and what is about. And do the data exploration. Do the data exploration. These are all comes under step number 2. The step number 2 heading is called as data understanding. This is called as data understanding. In the data understanding, these are the things which we are going to do. Now, what is meant by data exploration? Exploration means in the given data, for example, gender column is there. In the gender, what are the categories are there? For example, day column was given. In that, what are the categories? For categorical data, we have to check the unique values. If it is a continuous variable, we have to check what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value. For example, salary was given to you. We are going to observe what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, something like this. Is the point is clear? What is the minimum to maximum value? What is the average value? Like this we are going to do. That data exploration you can do either in the Python, you can do even in the SQL also. No restriction. Finally, data exploration will remain same. Okay. Next, after doing the data exploration, now you are going to do the step number 3 called as data cleaning. Next, step number 4. After doing the data cleaning, we have to do the step number 4 called as data analysis. You have to do some kind of analysis and make the observations. What are the observations you have made from this? List all the observations. List all observations. In that, some of the important will be there, some of unimportant will be there. So remove the unimportant observations. Drop unimportant one. If it is not important, you will observe something. But if it is not related to you, just drop. Just ignore that. If it is related to you, important. For example, in this class, I can make the observation, how many are there today with the red color shirt, red color dress? Okay, this is one of the question. I'm going to observe whether it is important for me. No, not required. Leave it. This is also observation only, basically, but important in the class. If the person wears red shirt means what happens, white shirt means what happens, blue shirt means what happens. That is not important. In the class, who is discussing each other? When I'm writing in the notepad, who is discussing silently? That is important because they are going to disturb the class. Some important will be there, some important will be there, but with your eyes, with the data, so many things will observe. In that, some of them will be important, some of them will not be important. Drop unimportant observations. No need to keep that one. And based on your observations, what are the observations you have made during the analysis? List all the important observations. List all important observations and drop unimportant observations. And finally, whatever you have observed, with that, make the presentation. This is for others. This is not for you. The last step is for others, to explain for others. This is not for you. First 4 steps are for you. Last step is for showing to others. Others has to understand. How much simply you will explain for others, that is the most important point in the data analysis. As much as possible, simple words you have to use, simple plots you have to use. By seeing that one only, we have to understand. Others, if they don't speak also, it is visible now. Easy understanding now. Clear only, right? They have to say like this. That much of clarity, the more the clarity you give with your plots, you are the best data analyst. The more clarity you give. By seeing only others are understanding means you are extraordinary data analyst. Fix it. Important observations, others are understanding just by seeing your report. Okay. So how much simplification you are going to make, that is more important. These are the steps involved in the data analyst role, particularly in the data analyst role. Okay, your work. Here there is no machine learning. You don't need to learn any kind of machine learning techniques or anything else. If time permits, we'll discuss that one additionally. That is secondary. But first, let us complete as per the syllabus. Now here I told you now, understand each and every column name, understand the database schema, load the data, select the data. Means Here, after understanding each and every column name, select the data. Select the data as per your requirements. You are going to select the data as per the requirements, and you are going to do the data exploration. For doing the data exploration also, we have to do the select the data only. Select the data and do the data exploration. For doing the data exploration, to apply distinct values or total how many records are there, minimum value, maximum value, all these things will be done using the select command only. So in the reality, what we are going to use generally is select command. Create the tables, create the database. Sir, I want to modify the data. I want to modify the data type. I want to add a new column. These generally will not be done by the data analyst, but since it is included in our course, I'm going to explain that one also. Today's class is in terms of what are the create, alter commands, everything we have discussed now. Theoretically, we have discussed. Now, additionally, some more things we are going to add in the today's class, and more things I'm going to explain for you. Okay. So once you have created the tables, two tables, for example, here I'm going to create a table. Create table customers. I'm going to create only one column called as customer ID and int. Only one column. Okay. I have created only one column. Now, after creating one column like this, now I want to do some modifications. This is my first table. Table number 1. Okay, table 1. I have created a table called as customers, customer ID with int, only one column. Now I want to add a new column. How to add a new column is add table customers, add column first name. Okay, within the table, customers table, now I'm going to add one more column called as first name. Next, if you want to add multiple columns at a time for the same table, every time this is the lock. For this one, if I added this one, again for the fresh, this one, every time this is fresh. If you remember in the list is equal to L is equal to 10, 15, 18, 4. You are having like this. List dot append of 5 and followed by list dot extend of 10. Now, if what is the answer? For example, if this is entire one code only, then first it is going to add 5 at the end, followed by 10 at the end. Output is going to be 10, 15, 18, 4 and 5 and 10. But for example, this is different. Again fresh list 10, 15, 18, 4. You are having like this. Then what is the difference between these two? Miss, first example answer is ending with 5. Second example answer is ending with the 10. So every time freshly you are going to consider the list. For every example, how you are considering the fresh list, because we can't remember the previous list, what is the output is there, and for that continuation, because we are not writing everything in a single cell, we are writing in a different cells, means how we can remember. So if you remember my list notes, in that I have taken every time fresh list in the cell. For that cell, I have explained list.remove. Again, I have taken fresh list, and for that I have applied the list.pop. I have not taken only one list, and for that all of them I have not applied at a time. Okay, even one image I have shared you the list methods. One image where burgers and you are having with respect to French fries. Then in that also left side I have given the original list. After that, if I apply remove means what happens, if I apply pop means what happens, I have explained like that. So every time fresh list was taken. Similarly, every time this is the fresh table. For this table, I'm adding the customers, add first name like this. If you want to add multiple columns, so for existing table also you can add. This is already you have added for the customers table one column. For the same column, if you want to add additionally 2 columns, like this you can add. Just you have to add is first row, first column, comma, and second column. Like that you are going to add the 2 columns. So multiple columns can be added in this way, single column or multiple columns. Now, if you want to add the primary key, while creating this one, you have not given the primary key. Just you have given the column name. You have not given the primary key. Now you want to set the primary key. How to add the primary key? How to add the primary key, I'll show you. How to delete the primary key also, I'll show you one by one. Okay. Don't ask immediately in the chat box that, sir, how to delete, sir. It will come. In the sequential order, one by one commands, it will come. So alter table customers, add the primary key. Now it is going to convert the primary key. It will be converted as a primary key. Which one? Customer ID will be converted as a primary key. Right? Now, see here, if you are interested, first I'm going to execute the each and every query within the MySQL. Let us execute one by one, every query. As basically I told that this is not the work of us, but since in the syllabus we are discussing the SQL and some of the SQL queries, so that is the reason I'm writing. Now, if sir, maybe in the interview they'll ask all these questions. Very simple. You are having the doubt of interview, and in the interview they'll ask or something, right? Some doubt is there. Okay. Now for that, how to identify? Very simple. Just open the interview questions in the Google. What you have to type is interview questions on SQL. If you type here only, up to here only, it will give the interview questions on SQL for full stack developer, for SQL developer also. Don't type only up to that. Interview questions on SQL for data analyst. Add this one. Just for data analyst you add. Now you see the interview questions in the SQL. Now you'll understand the difference between the interview questions on SQL for SQL developer, interview questions on SQL for data analyst. Type these two. Take tab 1. In the tab 1 in the Google, you type interview questions for data analyst. Take one more tab. In the same Google, you take one more tab. I mean Google Chrome. Take one more tab. In that type interview questions on SQL for SQL developer. Let us see whether you are going to get the same websites, same questions or not. Let's cross check. If possible, still more better means interview questions on SQL for data analyst by TCS. Let us log the company also. Any one company. Choice is yours. Not only TCS. You are interested with any other company also. Type that company only. In a flow, I am saying TCS. If you are interested in Infosys, or if you are interested in Cognizant, or if you are interested in Accenture, more number of data analyst roles jobs are in the Accenture. If possible, type Accenture. Comparatively, more jobs are there. When compared to TCS, more jobs are there in the Accenture for data analyst. Okay, just type in the Google interview questions on SQL for data analyst by Accenture. Interview questions on SQL for SQL developer by Accenture. Company is same, SQL is same, but role is different. Let us cross check whether you will get the same interview questions or different interview questions and tell me tomorrow. After cross checking, you tell me. No need to check now itself. Okay. So there is a lot of difference of SQL between the SQL developer versus data analyst. Is the point is clear now? Now, so let us start example. I'm going to create here. Okay. Already some database is there now. First, I'll remove this database. Now, I'm going to create the database, fresh database called as Siva. I'm creating one database. After creating a database Siva, okay. Now in this database, I'm not having any kind of tables. None of the table is there. Empty. Database is empty. Now I'm going to create the table called as customers with customer ID of int. Now, if I see here, I'm going to get in the customer create table customers in the bracket customer ID int type. Okay, here I have to write use as Siva. First I have to use Siva, means which database it has to add. So now in that I'm going to create the tables. Okay, see now if I do here refresh, you can see here table called as customers table. Either you can see here or second option is you can write here itself called as describe. Describe customers table, customers. Describe customers. Okay, you are going to use the word called as describe. Describe customers. Then you are going to get here. See how many fields are there? Only one field. What is the field? Customer ID. What is the data type? Int data type. Whether it will accept the null values? Yes. By default it will accept because you are not given any kind of constraint, not null. Or anything extra is there? No. Auto increment is there means no. Foreign key is there means no. Primary key is there means no. Nothing is there. Customer ID int type. It will accept the null values by default. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the table, columns. Let's add one of the column. And I'm going to share you this one also. This entire Word document will be shared to you in the Google Drive. Okay, you are going to add the table, alter the table customers, and you are going to add the first name. Now, two columns are there. Again, click on the describe customers. Now you can see here first name will come. Earlier only customer ID. Now you are adding the one more column. In this way, you can add the one column. If you want to add multiple columns, so already in that same table, two columns are there. Now I'm adding the two more two more columns. And after adding this one, again, I'm going to click on the describe customers. Can you see describe customers? So two columns are added. Total 4 columns are there. Right? Now, after this, okay. Now, next one is, sir, in that what is there? Columns are there. Inside values, what is there means? Values, if you want to see means select star. Select star from customers. Then you will see the values. Till that you can't see the values. Only the table you will see. Now you can see the values. Since it is empty table, only column names are there. Values are not there. Empty table. Is the point is clear? Values are not there. Now, when you are doing the alteration, every time what are the things you are doing the DDL, that is data definition language, you always focus on the describe. After inserting the data, always you have to type the select, whether it has inserted or not to cross check. Whether it has updated or not means again to cross check, we are going to use the select so that we can see whether it is updated that in that position or not. We can observe that one. Whenever you are doing the data manipulation language, you have to use the every time after the every query, you have to write select so that you can see what are the manipulation you have done. You can see. Okay. Now, next coming to the primary key. If you want to add any primary key for the given table, you want to add the primary key. Now, how to add the primary key? Earlier, first I have not added. Now I am doing the modification. So alter table customers, add primary key. Earlier what I have added? Column. Now this time what I am adding? Primary key. Primary key called as customer ID. Okay, I am converting this one. After converting, again I am going to click on the describe customers. See now, primary key word has came here. Now suddenly null was converted to not. Means primary keys will not accept the null values. Is the point is clear? Suddenly it was earlier it is not there now. Primary is not there now. Like this, right? Now, next I want to add the unique value, unique key. Sir, if I want to add the foreign key means second table has to be created now. Wait, I'll show you that one also. After creating the second table, I'll show you how to add in the future foreign key. Okay. So alter table customers, add the unique key. We are going to add the unique key. Alter table customers, add unique key, and after adding the unique key, again what you are going to do? Describe customers. Let us cross check. Either you can click on the describe customers or you can open here also. Either here or here, anything is fine. So you are going to add like this one by one. Okay, add a table, alter the table, add a single column, alter table multiple columns, alter table add the primary key, alter table add the unique value. Okay, now next one. After adding the unique value, now if I want to add the constraint like not null or auto increment, something that I have not created while creating the data, while creating the first time only that table I have not given. I want to add the constraints now. So I'm going to add the constraints. For adding the constraints, we have to give the modify. It is not add, modify. For primary key, for keys, we have to use add. For columns, we have to use add. But to change the constraints or to modify the constraints, we have to use modify. So I'm going to use the modify. See, I'm copying this one. Now I'm going to give the modification. Alter table customers, modify customer ID int type with auto increment. You are modifying. So you are modifying this one by auto increment, means you are adding a new constraint. Now let us cross check and once again describe customers. Every time I'm executing describe customers, guys. Now see here, suddenly extra, you got auto increment word. Like this, you can cross check whether it was added or not added. Now for this first name, whether here null is there or non-null is there. It will accept the null values or not null values. It will accept the null values. But I want to give the constraint as not null. First name cannot be null. Then what I have to do? In that case, you are going to write alter table customers, modify first name along with the data type, not null. I'm adding the constraint. So how to add a constraint like this means new constraint we are going to add like this. You are going to modify. Again, you can click on the describe customers and you can see here suddenly no. Earlier it is yes, now it is no, means it will not accept the null values. Like this, you can add in the later stage also. If you know all this before itself, while creating the table only, everything will be completed in one shot. In the future, if you want to modify also, you can modify like this. The futuristic data, you can modify like this, right? Now, next, you are going to add the constraints, not null or default. For example, I want to give for the number of complaints, default as 0. Sir, here you have not added the column now. There is no column, only number of complaints now. You know how to add the column now? Now, I'm going to just give the, instead of number of complaints, I'm going to give here email address. Email address as 0. Default as 0. Now, what happens? Let us cross check and let us click on the describe customers. Can you see here? Default value was given as 0. Unique key along with the default as 0. How it is unique key, sir? Earlier I have given now unique key with email address. That is the reason UNI has came. Now why default 0 has came means I have added the default as 0. See, every modification can you see clearly in the describe function, in the describe by you doing the describe. Or you can see in the left side also. In the, here also, once you refresh and if you click on the table and if you click on the each and every column also, you can see. By using the query, you can see by writing the describe. Describe customers will give you to observe what are the modification you have made. And next, if you want to modify the data type, okay, I want to modify the data type, not the constraint, not the key. I want to modify the data type. Now, so here, table, alter table, modify column. Before to that, what is the first name varchar of 255? While creating it was created with 255. But now I want to modify to varchar of 25 only. And let us cross check. So now can you see it is varchar of 25 only. Like this, you can modify the data type. Varchar means varchar, int means int, whatever you want. For example, if you give the modify first name as int, it is not compulsory varchar only. I'm writing here int. Now what happens? First name will be converted to int data type. And if I click on the customers, now you can see here, it is int type. Now you'll ask, sir, how the first name can be int type, sir? That is the reason it has to be in the varchar. Modify that one. If it is a wrong data type, modify the wrong data type. For modifying the wrong data type to correct data type, what we have to do is alter table customer and modify the column. Whichever the column you are having, modify that one. And this query we can write in the pandas still more simple. Still more simple. How, sir? That things we have not completed because that comes under data cleaning part. It will come. That is a part of data cleaning. Sir, why you have not explained during the pandas itself, that one also? You can explain that to query that particular code also during the pandas only now. I mean data cleaning or how to treat the missing values. All these things there only you can explain now. That is not the order of the project. Maybe it will be covered in the pandas syllabus, but not in the company. In the company, we will not go as per the syllabus. In the company, we will go as per the procedure. I will explain the classes in terms of what we have to do in the company. Not as per the syllabus. In terms of in the pandas, let us relate all the functions at a time. So whenever data cleaning comes, data cleaning functions of pandas we have to learn. Whenever data analysis comes, data analysis functions of pandas we have to learn. After that, overall, if you do the project, then it will be easy to understand, easy to execute the projects. Blindly, if you write the functions, for what purpose we are doing, for in which case we have to use this function also, if you don't know, there is no use. That is my way of training. Okay. Instead of going as per the syllabus copy, first letter by letter, that one, I will complete the entire syllabus by end. Overall, if you see, everything will be covered. But I can't write as per the company's process, what are the order is there, that I can't write in the syllabus copy. So in the syllabus copy also you can bring in the same way, no sir, means we can't bring like that. Because syllabus copy will be shared to the outsiders also, who are not involving in my class, it is shared to outsiders also. But to students, if I explain like this, they'll understand. If I don't explain like this, the importance or everything, then what happens means the students will think that that is the order. Once I explain, they'll understand. So that is the reason I'll explain everything in the class. Is the point is clear now? Next, see, even in the how to add I'm showing, but how to delete I'm not showing. See, how to add the primary key I have shown you. How to add a constraint I have shown you. But how to delete the primary key or how to delete a constraint. For example, I don't want the customer ID as the auto increment. I want to modify that one. I want to delete that one. How to drop the constraint. I have not explained because that comes under drop. I am in the alter command. What is this command I am doing is alter. Create database, create table. After that alter. I am in the alter only. I have not even entered into the truncate. I have not even entered into the delete. I have not even entered into the drop. I am still in the alter only. That is the order which I am coming. Right? Yes. When you want to modify from one to another, alter. If you don't want that one, delete. Not null. Non-null means in terms of it will accept all the non-null values. Means null values it will not accept. What is unique means it will accept only the unique values. For example, let us take like this. First name is there. In the bank you are working. In the HDFC bank, let us take an example. In that bank you are having the first name. You have given the first name as unique. My first name is Siva. If another person named Siva is there, are you going to not to insert already Siva is there in our bank, customer is there, we are not going to accept your name. Are you going to say like this? No, any Siva is accepted. Now my Aadhaar card number and other Aadhaar card number, are you going to accept? So Aadhaar card number should be unique. PAN card number should be unique. Date of birth should be unique. No, date of birth will be on the same day. So many people will they will burn now. Primary key is to work on the exact in the future. If you want to do some modifications, any one column we have to fix now. That column is primary key to use in the future. To use in the future only primary key. If you are not using in the future means no need of primary key also. For example, you no need to update. You no need to delete. You no need to modify the data. What are the data is there as it is you are going to use. You are not going to do one modification also. Primary key not required. Obviously. No need to assign null. Automatically by default it will take null. Update will come now at that time. Again, you are going forward. I am discussing alter, you are discussing update. Yeah. So first let us complete alter, and when it comes to the update, then again you ask if I want to update like this and something. I'm creating that table only. I'm in the table. Inside that values only not there. Once values comes, then we'll discuss everything again. As of now, only empty table. We are discussing how to create the empty table. First time when we don't know how to create that empty table, later how to modify that one. That modifications only we are discussing. You can select multiple primary keys. Multiple. No restriction. Okay, also. Right? Now, next, coming to the next one. How to modify. For example, if I want to drop the constraint. So that also comes under alter only. Now I'm going to remove the default or auto increment, whatever it is. Now here I have given the, what is the default of email address? Default value 0. Now what I'm going to do means, for email address, what are the email address earlier I have set now? That email address, now I'm going to drop. That email address, I'm going to drop the default. What are the default is there? I'm removing the default value. Now it is not having the constraint. Similarly, even you can remove the constraint for auto increment. Okay, you can remove the drop. You are going to use the drop. Alter table customers, that is table name. Alter table name. Alter command. Alter column. See, three things. Within the alter table only. Observe this one very clearly. Alter table. After table, you are going to write some name. Table name. What are the table name? Here you are going to add the column. You are going to modify the column. And you are going to do the alter the column. Three things you are going to do. Within the alter only, again, three are there. Add, modify, and again within the alter, again alter column. Alter column and drop the default. Means you can remove the constraint. What are the constraint you are having? You are going to remove the constraint in this way. Right? Next, rename any column name, not table name. Rename table name is different. Rename column name is different. I'm renaming the column name. If you want to rename the column name, you are going to use the rename. Alter table customers. Within the alter only, again rename comes. See, alter is the main one. Within that, rename column. You are going to rename the column of email address to email. You are trying to replace the mail. I mean, what are the column name? Okay. Next one is, now what is the next command we are having is called as, drop command. Now see here, alter table drop email means if you want to remove any column, alter table customers drop column email means you are dropping the email column. You can remove one column like this, any one single column. Sir, I want to remove the multiple columns at a time, comma, drop again one more column, drop column and drop the column, whichever the column name. Like that, how many columns you want, you drop all the columns and last you give the semicolon like this. For example, here I'm writing the last name. So here total how many columns are removed? 2 columns at a time. But if I execute, it is going to throw the error. Why? Because already email was dropped. Email is not there. One more time, if I ask the same email, it is going to throw the error. So instead of email, I'm writing here first name. Now what happens? It is going to drop the 2 columns. And now if I click on the describe customers, so you are going to get only 1 column like this. So you can remove 1 column, you can add 1 column, you can remove 1 column. You can add multiple columns, you can remove multiple columns. You can add the constraints, you can delete the constraints. You can add the data type, you can modify the data type, but you can't delete the data type. For every column, data type is compulsory. You can add, you can modify. You can add a new data type. Already data type will be created while creating the column only. Freshly, you are not going to add the new data type, only modification. Okay. So clearly you can write, you are going to add the column. You should know how to add the column. That is single column, adding single column, add multiple columns. Next, delete single column. how to delete a single column, how to delete the multiple columns. Now, how to add the constraint. If the constraint is not there, how to give a new constraint, how to delete the constraint, that is drop the constraint, or how to modify the constraint. Adding is possible, deleting is possible, modifying the constraint is also possible. Now coming to the data type. Can you add the new data type? No, while creating the column only, obviously data type will be given. You can modify the data type. You can't add the data type. A fresh data type separately cannot be added. It is not possible. You can remove the data type means, drop the data type means, that is also not possible because every column should have the data type. Then what you can do means only modify the data type. Data type can be modified, but you can't add, you can't do anything. Is the point is clear? So you can add the constraints. You can modify the constraints. So why we can add the constraint? Why we can't add the data type? Because while creating the data type, while creating the column itself, data type is mandatory, constraint is optional. Constraint you no need to give. But while creating the table, 100% you have to give the column along with the data type. Is the point is clear? That is the reason. Now, one of the student is asking the question, which data type is selected by default? None of the data type is selected default. If you don't give the data type, it will throw the error. Data type is mandatory. Shrikant, I want to delete the entire table, drop table. We are going to get into that. This is modifications. Guys, I will tell you in a simple words, still more simple words. For example, you are purchasing one new shirt. You went to a branded showroom and you have purchased one shirt. For that shirt, you want to change some modifications. You have not weighed. You have not even weighed. You have not even purchased. You have not even used that one first time also. Still, it is a new product only. New one only. The new product, new shirt you have purchased now only. And after purchasing the shirt from the branded shirt, you want to add some modification for that. Either your name has to be printed on that shirt, or you want to add some additional pocket on the shirt, or you want to adjust the shirt size according to you. Something modification you are doing. You have not even used. You have not even weighed. Weighed means here insert. You have just purchased the shirt. Purchase the shirt is called as create. After the purchasing and before wearing the shirt, in between what are the modification you are doing, that is called as alter. Alterations you are doing for the shirt. After doing the alterations of the shirt, finally you are going to use that shirt. Now after using the shirt might be shrink, the shirt may lose the color, the shirt maybe it is going to tear, and then you may again stitching, you may do the stitching on that, or you may completely throw away the shirt. That is secondary. That is after using the shirt. Now I am not using the shirt now. Still I have not used the shirt. New shirt only I have brought. But it is not suited for, I want some modifications. That I am doing now. Point is clear now? After wearing the shirt, if the shirt was teared, okay, somewhere some problem you got. Now what you are going to do, that is also called as modification only. That modification is different. This modification is different. Are you going to do the same? You are going to say the same alteration? No. That is different. This is different. After using the shirt, whatever you are doing the modifications or something, that is different. That we call it as update. We are going to update that one. Before to the purchase, I mean before wearing the first time, whatever you are going to do now, that is called as alterations. Alter command. It is clear now? And finally, if you are completely using the shirt for 1 month or 2 months and now you want to throw away the shirt, that is called as drop. Okay, that is later after usage or something. Okay, is the point is clear now, everyone? Yes, I told you that is all comes under update. These are all comes under alterations. Right now, next we'll move on to the next one. How to change the position. For example, if you want to interchange the position, For example, email address is there. Email address in the last position that you want to bring after the first name. You are going to write after first name. So what is the order we are having is customer ID, first name, last name, email. These are the 4 you are having. Now you want to bring the email to this position, means after the first name. Means my requirement is customer ID, first name, email, followed by last name. This is the order. So how to do that one means, so here alter the table customers, modify email after first name, means it will bring to after first. Now finally you want to bring the email to the first position only. After is not there. When you can use after means before to that any column name is there. Previous column name we are going to use after. Directly I want to bring into the first position only means here I'm going to write first. Then first only will start the email here. Like that you can bring to the first position or you can change the position. These are all called as modifications, alterations. Alterations of the empty table. What are the alterations are there? I told all the alterations for the table, empty table, first in the design, not after inserting the data. Means not after using the shut. Before to use the shut, what are the possibilities are there? I have explained all the possibilities. Is the point is clear? Now I'm going to create one more table, and after creating that table, I will add the foreign key. While creating the table, I'm not adding. See, observe. One more time I have to execute all these things. Just I'm closing all this. Now you understand what is localhost now? And what is connection between the things. Generally the data will be entered in the localhost now. They are called as data entry operators. In the HDFC Bank also, data entry person will enter the data. Executive will enter the data and he'll click on the submit. But he is not having the knowledge on whether the loan will be approved or not. If you want, you can go and try. He will just enter the details there. After entering the details in the backend, machine learning engineers are going to predict whether this person is a genuine person or not. And based on that, they are going to accept the loan or reject the loan. And from that, loan will be approved. His work is to enter the data. And what are the data was entered, it has to come into the backend in the database. And that data will go to the machine. And the machine will predict whether if he comes under good person or bad person. How he knows whether he is a good person or bad person means similar kind of you. For example, you are providing your details. See, in this class, one of the student is discussing with me something. He's asking some kind of intelligent questions. Very intelligent questions he is asking. Okay. Now he's a very good student, top student like this. Do you think that you are only the intelligent? Do you think that I have not seen like a similar kind of you in the previous classes? Based on your type of questions, based on your asking at what time, what questions, based on that, I can't analyze myself whether you are an intelligent student or with a excited student or something. I can't understand. How I can understand? Because I'm experienced and I have seen multiple students and those students' data is my brain. I'm processing here. That you don't know because you are not experienced. But I am experienced. In the last years, what are the training experience? I have trained more than 2,000 students. Do you think that similar kind of you, I have not seen any one of the student like you? You are only the person is going to become special. Someone will be there now, similarity. So based on that, I'm going to predict for you also. Assume. That is only called as machine learning basically. It is going to observe the past data and based on that similar kind of person it will identify and based on that it will predict on the future data. For example, suddenly new person has came. Till now this type of person I have not seen. That much of high intelligence person or that much of talented person or anything. Or waste person or positive. Both the sides. I have never seen assume. Now what happens? This is going to be for me as one of the new student for the future batches. It will come into the past data for me. In the future batches. That is called as ML operations. Continuously the data will be loaded and machine will update itself. Means my brain will be updated with batch to batch, batch to batch. What are the questions they are asking? In what way they are discussing with me? What type of WhatsApp messages they are sending to me or they are discussing internally? Everything batch to batch, I will be updated. This is continuation flow. Till how many years I will be in the teaching industry, this will be continued. Never it will stop. So this is all comes under update. Updating the data. For doing the updating, we require the first data. So I'm going to collect the data. Is the points are clear now, everyone? Now, let us get into the another table called as create table. One more table I'm creating. This is table number 2. So table number 2 called as says purchase number int. Sir, without int, if I write only purchase number, see red mark, can you see side? It is not going to take default value. Default data type, it will not take 100%. You have to write the data type, mandate. If you don't write the column name, whether it is going to take by default column name is no, it is also mandate. Python will take automatical default column names as 0, 1, 2. In the pandas, if you don't write any column names, then it will take automatically. But in the SQL, you have to clearly write the column names. At the same time, you have to specifically mention the data type because it is a static programming. It is not a dynamic programming to take automatically. Okay. So it is going to create a table like this. One more table was created. Now, after creating the table like this, now we are going to have next one. I'm going to connect between them. While creating the table, did I have written the foreign key? No, but now I want the foreign key. Now 2 tables are there. If you open here, observe. 2 tables are there, but 2 tables are not connected to each other. They are independent to each other. Now I want to make the connection between them. I want to give the relational between them. Now either while creating the table itself, you have to write here primary foreign key also, or if you have not written while creating, then you are going to do the alterations. So I'm going to do the alterations here. That is add foreign key. How you have added the primary key? Add primary key earlier. Similar way, add primary key. Add foreign key. Similarly, you can drop the foreign key. First, let us add. To add, what I required? Customer ID of the another table. Let us cross check whether customer ID of another table is available or not. If that is not available, then no use. Yeah, yes. Only one column is there. That to customer ID only is there. Remaining I have dropped now. First name I have dropped, email I have dropped, everything I have dropped now. So one column only is there. In this sales table, columns also purchase number is there, date of purchase is there, customer ID is there. Now what I'm going to do means I'm going to add the foreign key. Alter table says add foreign key. Like this, you are going to add the foreign key. Now once you add the foreign key, now where you have added, for which one you have added? Sales table you have added, not for the customer ID. Sales table you have added. This customer ID was connected to customers of customer ID. Add foreign key in your table customer ID. It has to be added to the customers of customer ID. Your table customer ID. Others table customers of customer ID. Like this you are going to add, connect between them. Okay, connection was completed. Now, can you see here foreign keys? Open foreign key. What is the foreign key name they have given? Sales underscore IBFK underscore 1. That is nothing but first foreign key. So 2 foreign keys are there. Then it is going to give one more foreign key also. Okay. So now this is the foreign key. What is the foreign key name? Sales underscore IBFK underscore 1 is the foreign key. So the same thing I'm going to use the drop. Drop the foreign key. Whatever the key I have created, whatever the connection I have created, that connection I'm dropping. For example, in the flow, I have given a wrong connection. Drop that connection and connect the other 2 columns. For one table to another table, one connection only will be there. No need to 2 connections or 3 connections. Between 2 tables, one connection is sufficient. In the same table, 2 connections. In the same table, 2 tables, 3 connections, 4 tables. In the same 2 tables, that many connections are waste. But this table can be connected to another table. The same table can be connected to another table. This table can be connected to another table. One to many. One table can be connected to many tables. One to many. But this is one to one. One to one means only one connection. Now 1 to 1, two tables are there. One to one means one connection. For connecting two tables, for example, I want to connect with one of my friend. Second is sufficient now. For him, I have to attach like this and I have to go. No need now. Right? Simple. So every body part no need to be attached. Just a hand attach also okay. So same way. So why to connect multiple columns to multiple columns? What is the use? So in a similar manner, right? So now just what are the connection I have given? I'm dropping the connection also. In this way, you can add the foreign key. You can drop the foreign key. Sir, I want to drop the primary key. Same way. How you have added primary key? Add primary key. Similarly, instead of adding the primary key, you are going to drop the primary key. Drop. Add, drop. Drop the primary key. While dropping the primary key in the customers table, what are the primary key you are having? You have to select the customer ID along with the data type. Customer ID with int. Now, why it is showing the red cross mark like that still? Though primary key we are trying to drop also. Relation. So first, once the relation was dropped, they are not connected to each other. Later you can do this one. Okay, first drop the primary key. I mean foreign key. After dropping the foreign key, you can drop the primary keys. Two primary keys you can drop. In the two tables, you can drop separately. Okay. Now, next, you want to convert the database to read-only mode. Means editing is not possible. Now, no editing is possible in that. You can't update, you can't insert, you can't do anything. Only select command. Update will not work. Delete will not work. Insert will not work. Once you write here, alter table, what are the database name you are having? Your database name, read only is equal to 1. Database name. This is database name. In my case, what is the database name is Siva. The alter database Siva read only is equal to 1 means if you try to drop the database also, it will throw the error. You can't even drop also. No modifications. Whatever it is there, you have to use. If you are interested, use. If you are not interested, don't use. But you can't do anything. Like whatever I have shared for you, the Google Drive. In that, you can't do anything. You can't even delete the Google Drive. Either you have to use. If you're not interested, you don't need to use. Simple. But nothing you can do in that. Same. And alter database read only is equal to 0 means edit. Now editing option will come. 1 means read only mode. Read only mode means only you can extract the data. You can extract the data. That is not a problem. You can select the data. You can do the things. That is not a problem. But when it comes to this one, okay, when you want in terms of read only is equal to 0. Is the points are clear? Next one is called as drop. I already told you how to rename the column name. You know how to rename the table name. So table name you can rename by using the tables of customers to customers data. This is table name. Column name, alter. Alter table name followed by rename column, old column to new column name. That is the syntax. If you want to rename the column. If you want to rename the table like this. Next, if you want to drop a table, you want to delete the entire table. Table you want to delete. How to delete the table means drop table. So here I'm going to drop the table. So what are the table I'm having? I'm dropping the table called as sales. Sir, which table has to be dropped first? For example, two tables are there. They are connected to each other. Which table you can drop means child you can drop. Parent you can't drop directly. First you have to drop the foreign key, the connection between them. After dropping the foreign key, then only you can drop the child. After dropping the child, then you can drop the parent. On delete cache, this is not individual row wise. This is table, entire table, not row wise. It is complete table. So sales table was dropped. In similarly, I'm going to drop the customers table. See, whatever I have done today's class, everything was deleted. My entire things till now, whatever the creation part I have done in one shot, everything deletion also completed. Nothing is there. Now you have created database. No, sir. I'm going to drop the database also. Drop the database. From the starting, we have created everything. We have modified something. We have created the tables. We have done that one, this one. And finally, we are dropping the entire everything. Sorry. Read only. Grant command is different. That will be given by the your admin, not by you. This is local. I mean team lead. Or for example, initially you are working and later I want to modify that. Grant permission means you are giving the permission to enter into the database. That is only for grant means enter, not for modifications. Enter into the database. Is the point is clear? For example, I have shared you the Google Drive link. One Google Drive link I have shared. I have given the permission to open that one. I have granted the permission to open the Google Drive, but I have not given the permission to access the data. I have kept in the read only mode is equal to 1. 1 means nothing but true. Read only is equal to true means it is only read. 1 means true. 0 means false. Is the point is clear, guys? Everyone? Yes. If you are having any questions, you can ask. Just I'm going to share you. So whatever the things we have completed is 1, create, alter, followed by in terms of rename, column names and table name, followed by drop. Now truncate you have to see means first I have to insert the data. Tomorrow we'll insert the data first. After inserting the data, then I'll show you how to delete a single record, how to delete all the records at a time. Truncate will come tomorrow. Sorry, you are asking any question? Done. If anyone has any questions, you can ask. Online students, you can ask your questions. Yeah. Sir, when foreign key is dropped, then there is no parent-child relation. We can drop even parent table also first. Absolutely. If there is no connection means you can drop. If there is a connection means you can drop only child. Okay. Done. Vaishnavi. Sir, I cannot open the SQL nodes. Please connect to the admin once. Admin has given the permission to access the data. He will only grant the permission. Admin. Not database admin, Naresh IT admin. Phone open అవట్లేదా? మీరు MySQL ఇన్స్టాలర్ ది కొడుతున్నట్టున్నారు లేదా imdb.sql కొడుతున్నారు. అది కాదు కొట్టాల్సింది. పక్కన ఉన్న PDFs ఉన్నాయి కదా. Open the PDFs. PDFs are also not opening. No connection. Hey, 1 minute. Just give me 2 minutes of time. Just I'll re-upload one more time. Guys, I'm going to re-upload one more time. After re-uploading one more time, I'm going to share you the same thing in the Google Classroom. You'll get an update in the Google Classroom. And if by maximum 1 o'clock, if the problem was not resolved, just you can send me a reminder to my srk.nareshit. You can send me a reminder to srk.nareshit@gmail.com. This is my mail ID. Okay. Yeah, just I'm going to do the modification. I'll delete everything. Again, I'll add one more time. After adding, immediately I will update in the Google Classroom. Sorry. What, this notepad. What are this notepad? Yeah, what are the notepads we are discussing in the class now? Better to all the notepads, I mean, in terms of whenever we are discussing the notepad, please write in the class. If I start sharing the notepads also, what happens means, point I will tell you simple. And if you feel it is logical means accept, otherwise then I'll share. If you are not feeling it is logical means I'll share surely notepads. For example, if I share the notepads, what happens means, the online students are there, right? they'll just listen to the, they'll keep the earphones and they'll keep the mobile phone and they'll walk somewhere and they'll do some other work and they'll do all these things. They'll not focus and they'll not sit and they'll write because they'll assume that sir will share the notes, sir only will share the notepads, everything. Okay, in the same way, in the class also, do you think that if I share the notepads, some of the students in this class, they'll not even bring the tomorrow onwards notes also? Done. That is not a problem. At that time, it is not a problem. Okay. But during the class hours, if I share the notepads, means the students will not write the properly notes. If the students writes in the class, then focus and they listen properly, then there is a high probability they'll understand the concepts and they'll get the jobs. If you make them easiness, they will not write in the class. That is the reason why I'll not share the notepads generally. Okay, done. You can leave, guys. If you're not having any questions, you can leave. If anyone has any questions, you can ask.